Hi, I'm Nikki Halliday, nutritionist and natural chef, and I wanted to welcome you to my YouTube channel, Healing HPV Virus and Cervical Dysplasia Naturally. I wanted to share a little bit about my own journey today, as I've been HPV negative and cervical dysplasia free for about 5 years now, and my journey went on for about 14 years having abnormality in the cervix. And it was only when I said yes to myself, when I said yes to my body, when I said yes to my cervix 100%, and I showed up for myself daily, and I had my motivation and my dedication and my belief and my trust in myself and nature, that I managed to heal this virus, and my cervix is now beautiful and pink. It was my early 20s when I found out I had a slight abnormality. I was told to go home and not worry about it, and that's what I did. I trusted the medical system, I trusted the doctors and nurses, and I just relaxed and I waited to see what would happen next. And I kept on getting a little bit worse. My cells the grade went up to SIN 1 and then it went up to SIN 2. And after being SIN 2 for quite some time, they told me they wanted to do this LETS procedure on me, which is where they get a wire loop that is electrically charged, and it's used to scrape off the cells of the cervix. So this is not a very nice procedure to get, and I know many women that have had this procedure. And I don't like recommending women to get the procedure or to not get the procedure. I like giving my clients the opportunity to find out what it is that they feel that they need for their journey, because it's very different for each individual. And getting this procedure done for me, it didn't work. Unfortunately, I went back to my next smear test and I was SIN 3 after being SIN 2 previously. So I was on the next stage towards cancer. And I decided to go to see a private gynecologist instead, and he decided to do an emergency LETS treatment on me. And this was very traumatizing. I found it really painful and intrusive, and I just felt so lost and so overwhelmed and so confused, and I really lost myself when this was happening to me. And I didn't feel like I had any power to stand up for myself and say what I wanted, that I was kind of told this is what you need, whereas I felt like there could have been another way, right? And after that, my cells did diminish and I was only at a slight abnormality, but I still had HPV virus. At that point, I felt like, I need to do some work around healing this and actually getting rid of it completely from my body. I tried a few different things. I tried different supplements. I tried being a little bit healthier in myself. And to be honest, nothing really worked. And every time I went back to get my smear tests or my colposcopies, unfortunately, I still had HPV virus and abnormality. So after another few years, they wanted to do another LETS treatment. And I put my foot down this time and I said, no, I'm not doing that again, because it didn't work and it keeps coming back. So why would I keep getting these treatments that could have potential risks if I feel like they're not working? So they gave me 6 months and off I went, and I did a lot more research and I found lots of new different supplements to take, and I definitely sorted out my diet a little bit more as well. But unfortunately, when I came back after 6 months, I wasn't healed, and I asked them to give me another 6 months. So I knew I was going to Costa Rica to a healing farm, and I decided to fully show up for myself this time and to have a full intention of how I was going to heal this. And it was my only goal that I set for myself. And this was my determined self that was going to do this and going to do it that in a way that suited me and my body. And that's what I do with my clients. I work out what way is best for them to heal, because everybody is individual, right? So when I went to Costa Rica, I did a lot of different things. I started practicing yoga. I started doing mindfulness meditation. I started doing different breath works. I did a few different plant medicine ceremonies. I got to release a lot of emotions, my traumas, fear, resentment I was holding on to, shame around having HPV virus, shame around, holding this sexually transmitted infection. And a lot of different things of like letting different men into my life, into my body that I might not necessarily have wanted to, letting go of all of those past traumas around sex and around my sexuality, around that area in the cervix, right? And I also set new healthy boundaries for myself. But of course, I did so much with my diet, in that I was green juicing every morning with a lot of different herbs and greens and leaves that really help for anti-cancer and anti-inflammatory, antiviral. I also used different oils, cannabis oil, and I also used lemongrass oil and different things that I found in research and studies that helped the apoptosis of cervical cancer cells. So I use that internally on the cervix as well, but only in very small amounts. It's very important that we don't overuse these oils, because it can imbalance the flora in the vagina. And I also walked barefoot, connected to nature. There's just so many things that I did that really helped me to heal, right? And it was, I can't tell you exactly what it was that healed me, right? It could have just been the fact that I was eating organic fruit and veg. But you know what? I just believe it was holistic. I believe it was an all-round intention of healing, and all the mechanisms that I needed came to me to heal. I also took some mushroom complex supplements and turmeric tinctures as well. There are so many different things in nature that can help us to heal. And I feel like with modern medicine, they don't really understand this. They don't know. They don't look at the science, or they haven't been told about the science. They don't study it in school. So they do really turn a blind eye to this, even though there's scientific studies that show that certain herbs or certain vegetables help with eliminating viruses, or boosting the immune system, or helping the cervical cancer, right? So in saying all of that, after the 6 months, when I came back, I went to the hospital again, and they told me that I still needed to get the treatment. And I was absolutely dying inside. I actually didn't believe them. I was like, no way. There's no way that I did not heal myself. I didn't believe them. And they told me, no, you have to come and get the treatment. They told me so many times in email, in phone, in talking to me, you need the treatment, you need to get the Let's treatment again. I was in such an emotional state. I really didn't know what to do. I wanted to try and continue to heal naturally, but I got so much pressure from my family and my friends, and you need to get the procedure, you're being selfish, you shouldn't, if your parents are going to be worrying about you, so that's really selfish of you not to get the treatment done. And it's just a very overwhelming feeling of people pressuring you into getting something that you really don't think is right for you, and calling you selfish because you want to do what's best for your body. But because other people want peace of mind, then you're deemed as selfish. It seems a bit odd for me. But yeah, it's not, I know this journey is not easy. So in the end, after all that pressure, I decided to get the treatment done. And when I went in to get it done, they had messed up my appointment, and I didn't have an appointment. So I ended up rejigging my flights, delaying my flights back to Costa Rica. And I got booked in for the next week to get my treatment done. And by the time I went in, they had my proper results and I was actually HPV negative. And there was only a tiny abnormality, like a little dot on a page. And this was the doctor telling me this, not the nurse. So the nurse said that she saw what she thought I needed to get the treatment. The doctor said it was a little dot, and that because my results were HPV negative, I didn't need to get the treatment done, which was such a turnaround. It was so unbelievable to have that information. It was just like, like my heart just exploded with like this trust and belief that I knew that I was right, that I had healed myself and I had done what was right for my own body. And it was just so beautiful to receive this news. So after that, I went back to Costa Rica and I was able to just relax and enjoy myself and still keep up the healthy lifestyle, the healthy diet and all of that. And it was just really opening for me to be able to relax into being in this environment and just really, truly, thoroughly enjoy the fact that I had healed in this amazing place. And I don't, I can't tell my clients to go to Costa Rica and heal, obviously. So, it depends on where my clients are in the world or what they're going through in their life at the time or what kind of diet they like to have normally. And, we work out a plan around that rather than saying, oh, well, look, I went to Costa Rica and ate loads of fruit. Maybe you should do that too. I don't like doing that at all because, as I said again, everybody is unique and everybody needs a different journey. And I've seen many women heal and they're not living in Costa Rica and they're at home, eating the foods that they want to eat, but also, bringing in healthier options as well. But yeah, so that really is the guts of the story. I've had a few different visits since then, and every time I've gone, I've been HPV free. They did want to do another biopsy on me before, and I told them I didn't want to do that until I got the results. I'm all about getting results before you do any procedures or anything like that, and also maybe even getting a second opinion as well, because sometimes it's missed what's on the colposcopy, right? Because the nurse saw something and the doctor saw something else. So we really want to be sure before we go and get any procedures done. So in saying that, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. And if you want to hear more about this journey and what else I did to help heal, I'll be giving lots of tips and lots of ways to help you heal your own cervix. So thank you so much. Just click the subscribe and like button, and I'll see you again for more adventures on our healing journeys with our cervix.